Okay. I'm sorry. We are live. Hello, everybody. We have Kelly Sue trying to come on. Oh, look.
Okay, did I work?
Hey, we can hear
Oh my
you now.
Yay!
It's working.
Yay!
Yay. Okay, fabulous. So I am so thankful to have my friends here today. I've got my friend Brenda from Texas and Kelly Sue. Oh my God, I got to hug on you at Elite. It was so wonderful seeing you. And thank you, ladies, for being on here with me today.
Absolutely. I was excited by this.
Yeah, well, good. And what a good topic, right? So all of us have children that work with us
Yeah.
hand in hand in the business. And I went ahead and added the good, the bad, and the ugly because quite honestly, it could be really wonderful. It could be a blessing. And sometimes it can be really hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me about you. How many children do you have working for you? What do they do? And how long have they been with you?
All right.
Whoever wants to go.
Oh, you can start, Kelly. Go ahead.
Okay. I have my daughter, Tori, and I have 3 kids altogether, but my daughter, Tori's the youngest. And she started with me. If she watches this, she's going to tell me I was wrong. But
That's what kids do. That's part of the bad.
but I think she's been with me probably 6 or 7 years, something like that.
It's a
Could
long
be,
time.
yeah, it could be a little
So
longer.
roughly how old was she when she started?
She was
It's
around.
Tori, don't get matter if she's wrong on the dates. Come on.
I'm gonna say she was 20, between 23 and 24, because
Okay, wow.
she graduated from college and she got her degree in equine physiotherapy and realized that there was in Central Florida not a big draw for that. And so then she worked for an insurance agency for a year and then decided she couldn't sit behind a desk any longer. And then I asked her if she wanted to just work with me. And she always hated my job. She thought being a realtor was the worst job in the entire world, because I'm always on the phone or I was always at the computer. But again, I was
Yeah,
always a
the kids, when your parents are realtors, it is really hard on the kids. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
think about it. I mean, you work 24/7. I mean, that's the reality of it.
yeah, yep. But then she started working for me and realized just actually what a great job it is. It's an awesome career.
It is an awesome career. So what does she do for you now?
We actually are partners.
Okay.
So we partnered up. It started where she just worked with me. And
Mhm.
then we decided, as time progresses, at some point I'll end up retiring. So we decided to change our dynamic and became partners. So that way we can start building things up for her for when I retire out. And
Yeah.
that way I can still draw income from the company and then she'll be in charge of it.
So how does that play with your other 2 children? Are they upset? Do they understand? Do they care?
They don't care.
Yeah.
No, no, they're all good with it. And I mean, we just sold one of my son's house, and so they kind of liked it because they were able to communicate right with her with everything.
Yeah, I
So
could see that. And then what's the difference in your duties? Like being partners, what do you do versus what she does, or is it pretty much everything?
uh, we do a lot of the same things, but truthfully, with her, like she's much more techie.
Yeah.
I give really great hugs, and so I can go around and hug everybody, and then she can get on the computer and get really technical.
Okay. Well, good. So Brenda, tell me about you. Children, how many children? When do they start? What's their position?
Well, I have 3 children, and it's my daughter, Caitlin, who is also my youngest. She's 26 that works with me. My other 2 are out of state, and they wouldn't do any of this anyways. And then, and then it's funny that you had said, Kelly, when way before she started, my daughter wanted nothing to do with real estate. She's like, I don't see how you even do this or even talk to people, because sometimes you're talking to people, other agents or clients, and sometimes they can be rude.
Yeah.
And my daughter has I don't know if she's watching, but she has a little bit of a temper and a mouth on her. Now she
Where
has
she gets it from?
she has matured, since last time, but there was one time she was in the car with me, and I had it on CarPlay, and this guy was going off on me, and she's like, you've got to be polite, and professional, which I was. And she's like, I have no idea. There's no way. I'd lost my mind. You know what I mean? If it were me now, but she's been with me about 4 years. She started off with me as an assistant. as far as it goes. And now for about a year and a half, she's really newly licensed. She's ready to, start. She's a buyer's agent for me.
Okay, awesome. So with me, both of my children work with me now. So I have two girls. They both work with me, Allie and Gracie. Allie started with me. It's funny because Kelly, so you said it too, because I said, well, she's been with me. And I'm like, well, she's been with me her whole life. But
Yeah.
we've been working together for 9 years. So she started when she was like 16 maybe. And it started out of 100% practicality. She was on early release from school because she was in 11th grade and she had tested out of everything. She had been taking AP and honors since she was in 9th grade. So she was out of school by 10. And in her 16-year-old brain, that meant I'm going to go to Wrightsville Beach and hang with my boyfriend all day.
Yeah.
And I, not having it, even though that sounds like a great day and a fun day, that is where trouble is to be made. So I made her get a job. So her first job was actually with Chick-fil-A, and she worked at Chick-fil-A 6 months and absolutely hated it. I mean, hated every single thing about it. So out of just sheer trying to keep her out of trouble, I made her come work for me. And at that time, she just did busy work. Quite literally made flyers, delivered flyers, put open, whatever I needed done that I couldn't get done, she was doing. But it didn't take long that I realized that I hate paperwork, right? And I hate being in the office. Not that I hate being in the office, but you know what I mean. I mean, I think most realtors like to be in the field talking to people, right? Mm-hmm. She loved it. She loved the 9 to 5. She liked the consistency of it. Once I taught her the paperwork, she is so OCD that, well, now let me be clear. Fast forward at 9 years later, she does everything. I mean, she quite literally, she is the team manager. She's the team operations manager. I mean, anything and everything she does. She does a little bit of real estate. She is licensed. She's been licensed for years. But she doesn't really like the real estate side of it. Like I said, we're different. We're totally opposite personalities, which works really well in the office. And then my youngest daughter graduated from college, and everybody's met Grayson because she is the one that goes on all the conferences with me. She is my mini me. And honestly, she didn't know what she wanted to do with her life, and she needed a place to try to figure it out. And I found out she is incredible. I mean, off the charts with marketing. So all of my marketing, I mean, she has just taken us quite literally to the pinnacle level 2 years in a row. But it's her marketing. She just elevated everything that I have been doing for 17 years and made it look so much better. I mean, it was really impressive.
Blessing right there.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Now, the good, we've all said the good, right? It's nice working with your family. The bad, tell me some bad, because I can't be the only one that wants to kill them sometimes.
Brenda, you can start this one.
I just, sometimes it's hard to split that relationship, that mom-daughter relationship up, you know what I mean? As far as business and personal, you know what I mean? And so that can be a little tough some mornings or whatever, whenever, God bless her, she's in a mood or something, you know what I mean? And so it's like, she's, tense about something or whatever. And I've got to like, hey, you know what I mean? I got to focus here, as far as being more business-like and stuff like that, and not take it personal, because I don't know about you all, but, mothers and daughters, sometimes we can clash, and I'm a little bit older, so, for sure, you know what I mean? So
but I think that's that's an excellent point. And I noticed it a couple of years ago, and it was to the point that we spent so much time together that when they would call me at home, I was a little bit aggravated because I'm like, I've been with you for 8 hours. However, both of my kids came to me and said, Mom, we see you in the work realm. Like when you're in the work mode, you're in work mode.
Right.
But now we don't really see you as mom. And that stung, but I realized they were 100% right. So I started at that time going in on Wednesdays, and I would get off early on Wednesdays. And Wednesday was my day. And I'd go over to Allie's house because she had just bought a house and she didn't know how to cook. And I would bring over a recipe and food, and I would teach her how to cook that night. And then we'd work in her yard because she wanted plants and whatever. But we started spending Wednesdays that we never talked about work. We were just there doing what she wanted to do in her space,
Mhm.
learning about her. So I do think, it's interesting, Brenda, that you said that, because that was a problem that I didn't identify as a problem. They identified it as a problem, and they were 100% right. What about with you, Kelly Sue? That rhymed.
I know, right? I think the biggest thing for us was just the learning curve between, mom and, at the beginning, like boss, but then,
Mhm.
and then trying to share the responsibility. But so one of her big pet peeves is she doesn't like passive answers. She doesn't like just, oh, just trying to pacify things. Sometimes I tend to give passive answers. So I can hear her rolling her eyes behind me. I can hear that happening. And then of course I'm over here and I'm rolling my eyes back at her. So we have this little like rolling of eyes at each other. But then we finally come to grips with everything and then figure things out. We have to compromise and just really know our boundaries with each other.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point too, because
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes, let me tell you, before we were given this team office that's big enough for everybody, plus we are increasing our team if anybody wants to join. But we were at a different REMAX, and it was a smaller REMAX. And Allie and I had to share a very small office together. And people would come out from around us going, are they killing each other? I mean, we would be screaming and fighting like cats and dogs. So when we moved, we changed Remaxes, and then quickly realized that we cannot work in the like together side by side.
Yeah.
But once I realized that, and we do have boundaries now, we still fight, but everybody from the team now, they're like, it's part of the family. I tell you that when you're interviewing for a job, I'm like, we are a true family, and we fight like it. We love like it, but we'll fight like it too. So
Right. I was going to say another thing, that came and just came up like recently or whatever. Given that I've been doing this, 17, almost 18 years, and she's just in it now. And so when your point to our answers, sometimes we're very like some things we've seen. You know what I mean? It's like it's going to be fine. I'm like, it's going to be fine. You're fine. She wants a little bit more. Like what? What do you mean? And I'm like, if I'm not worried about it, you shouldn't be worried about it. But I don't know how to, you know what I mean? Because she hasn't been through certain situations yet. So I'm like, you just have to trust that, this is what's happening. You know what I mean? We're going to be fine. So,
and I think one of the true positives too, and is that you've got a true advocate when you have your children on the team, right?
oh yeah.
So they are true representations of me and our business. But they've been, I've been divorced a long time. I got divorced when my kids were 7 and 8, and pretty much starting at 7 and 8, I put them to work, whether it be putting stamps on something, or I mean, I had to, I was limited on the hours I could work. I had to work from home a lot. So I made them work with me. So a lot of it they've known their entire life,
Mhm.
which is nice. And now Allie's gotten into recruiting. And what's really nice about that is that she truly has a passion, not just for real estate, but for the team. And it's easy for her to talk about it. When I talk about it, seems like I'm selling it. When she talks about it, it's very genuine. I mean, it's very much from the heart.
Right.
And then Gracie's able to take both of our personalities and the team personality and put it into this marketing strategy that's been out of the world. So other than fighting, my other negative I will have to say is sometimes I do feel taken advantage of sometimes. However, I would also tell you that they definitely would say the same thing. They would definitely say that they feel taken advantage of too. Right. I think that goes both ways. And I think that's a little bit hard boundary because they are your kids. So you do like want to beat the shit out of them sometimes.
But then again, too, you have like your expectations, and sometimes your expectations of them are much higher than they are just because of that family dynamic.
100%. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. You're what you expect. That's right. And you would let others get away with, you don't really let them get away with. No, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent
I
point.
let, yeah, no, I think that I let my daughter get away with more, or I'll cover with her more, you know what I mean, or whatever, than I would anybody else. it's just a little bit, well, because I also know, I know her schedule more too, with her son or whatever. So we can always, go with each other. I was going to mention, I was thinking, you said your daughter is now in recruiting. I think Caitlin will be excellent, you know what I mean? To move into that role. I mean, she's already trying to recruit people. Yeah. Like that, like her mind goes immediately there. She tried to recruit an agent that we just did a deal with. She's like, hey, I think he'd be really good. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you can reach out to him. That's fine. But it's just that it just came natural for her to ask that. So that's
So I have Allie recruiting and training new agents, and she's really good. She does my interviewing. I'm telling you, she pretty much does I'm just kind of an agent on the team. She's my boss. I mean, I don't let her think that in real life, but it does kind of seem that way now that I'm talking about it.
You trained her well then.
That's exactly right. And with them, I am trying to build something that I could leave, like something I can leave them. Right. And it's hard in this industry to do that. But it's nice when you've got your family working with you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I reached out to Cindy Banks and asked her if there was one thing that she really felt working with her daughter, and trying to figure things out. And one of the things she said, which was really important, and it took us some time to do it, is the finances. And do you cover for your child more because you still are their mom? So like, are you paying more for them for this, or are you taking less of a cut because they might need some more money? And that was very valid. And it
does happen
before I could even figure out, okay, listen, this is my career, my job, this is her career and her job. So we have to make these numbers work.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that I pay more. I'm trying to think. Actually, I think I probably pay them less. I mean, honestly and truly, not less. I mean, I think both of my kids would say they get paid a very fair. It's an interesting point, but I. Yeah, I think.
Well, I think yours is marketing and admin work for the most part, right? So I'm sure you've got them like on a salary and stuff like that.
Well, I have Gracie. Yeah, I've got Gracie on hourly, and then Allie is definitely on a salary. Plus, Allie gets bonuses.
Right.
She gets 5% for every agent that she trains. She gets 5% of all their closings.
Right. So you have your REMAX fees or whatever. So my daughter has to pay those, and she has to pay her SABOR dues. You know what I mean? As far as that goes. Now, when she first started, but I do this with all my agents, you know what I mean? When they're new on the team or whatever, then I'll cover for the first couple of months, until they can start, selling houses, and then you got to pay.
Yeah. So I think for everybody on the team.
Yeah.
So, including them. Yeah. But I think that's valid. And it's interesting because when I talk, and I love Cindy and Katie. When I talked to Katie, I was trying to remember which conference I sat next to her at a dinner, and she was saying that it's interesting when you talk to the kids, because she was saying she felt like she's owned by her parents, and that she is owned by her parents, and she was very bold in her statement that she felt owned, and she felt dictated a lot of what so it'd be interesting to have all the kids on here.
Interesting.
Right? Kids do it.
I
think
doing one with the kids would be a great idea.
Yeah, I was going to say owned by. I don't think. Yeah, my daughter can't say that. But you probably saw it with Katie at Luxury. I think that's the last one right?
Yeah, I think it was. It was not this year because I didn't go to Luxury this year, but it was one that we went to a really good. Michelle Stewart did a phenomenal vegan dinner.
Oh, nice.
Would that have been Luxury? Do you know?
Do I like mushrooms? Is that
what? Luxury. So would that have been Luxury? The food was amazing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
maybe New Orleans.
Yeah, I think it was New Orleans. That's it. Yeah. That sounds more like it. But anyway, so would you ask your kids and let's schedule a date for them to be on it? That would be kind of fun to see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. My daughter will probably do it, Be interesting. She's got a shower, but she might do it,
I think my kids are doing. I have to see if my daughter would actually host it because it would be interesting to see what they actually said when I wasn't on it.
Oh my God, we couldn't be listening. We'd be all mad at them. My parents own me. They don't give us a break. What? We're like, you're fired.
So that would be a great idea. Brenda, you and I could each watch the kids while they got on it.
Oh yeah, the grandkiddos. Yep, no doubt.
So, yeah, so that's the other thing. So my daughter was my oldest daughter. I've got a grandbaby, which I'm very proud of and I love. But she comes to the office every Monday. And in the beginning, she was coming to the office every day when she was first born, and that was fine. She was sleeping, and once she started staying awake more, I had to kind of put a kibosh to her coming to the office so much, just because it was hard to get things done. But now she comes in on Mondays.
Nice.
And Allie has kinder music with her at 9 on Monday. So she comes in after that. And I've pretty much readjusted my Mondays to realizing that I'm just going to do kind of admin kind of work, whatever that I could spend some time with her. That's my day with her. And that's fun because she brings a lot of just warm, fun energy to the office. It's a different dynamic, but different people from the team will come in on Mondays just because the baby's in here.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. Yeah. So overall, would y'all do it again with your kids?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're still, still there. Not my older two boys probably no, but they wouldn't be into it. I wonder though the dynamics between if somebody has a son on their team.
Wait, doesn't doesn't she work with her son? I have to ask her.
I don't know, but I just wonder if the dynamic is different. You know what I mean? Between a mother and a son.
Yeah, I bet they get along better. Right? Don't they say that?
I bet. I should ask my old team member, Liliana. She's got her son on her team now.
Yeah.
And I just assume that they would, because to me, daughters, and mothers have this dynamic and mothers' sons have this dynamic. So I just wonder if it's like, they might be mad at their mom, but they're not going to say nothing.
Yeah, but Dave, it'd be interesting. Dave, Texas Dave, his son works with them. It'd be interesting to see the different dynamics.
Yeah, father-son stuff and
and mother-son and just how that all transpires. But
a lot of us are working with this.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. And I, Gracie keeps telling me that she's going to move. And so that's how come I think she's a little bit hesitant in getting licensed. She is working on her license now, but I think she's a little bit hesitant because she keeps saying, I'm going to move. You never know where I'm going to live in a year. And I'm like, please don't. For selfish reasons, please don't.
Yeah.
But,
now, does anybody else in your family get upset if you guys are talking shop away from the office?
So we do that a lot. And my youngest daughter will be like, especially if I go over to Allie's house, my oldest daughter, and everybody's over there, and Allie and I will start talking business, and Gracie's like, please stop. And so it is like, we do have to refresh and realize that, hey, let's switch hats. Let's go into family mode, not work mode. I think it's important not to talk shop all the time. It's hard, especially when that's the one thing you have in common. But I think it's best not to do it all the time. What about y'all?
We had to learn that real quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, like outside of the office, don't talk about it.
It's like if we're at family gatherings or something, then we had to learn, okay, that conversation has to wait, or we got to wait for them to get out of the room.
Yeah, that's right.
I just got to learn that anyways, because I just talk all the time. You can't,
Oh my goodness, we've got a lot of people. We got Linda Wells saying hey, and Dawn saying hey, and Namesh. I'm just going through all of our people. Yes, we got Meredith. We got Linda again. We've got Michelle. Hey, Michelle. And we've got Denise, and we've got Tracy. Oh my goodness, and we've got Joseph, and we've got Mark.
That I should have, made a little login thing so I could see everybody. But
Mark Cruz, can you see it on yours, Kelly?
I can, yes.
Yes, all the people see it. Hello.
Guess I'll have to look.
We've got Nathan.
Hello.
Let's see here. My 9-year-old said she might want to get into real estate. I told her at least 2 years of college. Yeah, that's right. And we got Cindy saying hey.
Yay.
Jody. Oh my goodness.
Goodness.
Shows the big
Jody.
I love that.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh.
That he's got everywhere.
And what's up with that?
Oldest brother. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's where it gets hard. That's where I feel it's a little bit hard when everybody relies on you for income. I do somewhat think that that's it was the vegan dinner. Pam, I was sitting next to you too. Oh, look, everybody got her on there. Yes, I would love to see.
She'd be happy to elaborate. What do you mean? I'm owned.
And then Tammy, her son, that would be a mother's son.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
We've got everybody on there. So that is fabulous. Yeah, see if the kids would want to be on it. That would be fun.
Maybe they just need a support group for Zoom or something too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be fun. I think it would be kind of funny to listen to them because I'm sure they have a lot more negatives to say about us than we do about them.
Yeah.
So I hope not.
With Nate saying about his son, it reminded me of when I was first getting into real estate, and my daughter Tori was 8 years old, and we were going around and there was a FSBO. So I had her in the car, and so I approached the FSBO, and he was less than happy with me. He didn't really like me whatsoever being at his house and trying to do it. And so he was kind of mean. So Tori wrote a letter to my broker and said that people are mean to her mom.
Oh, how cute.
Have that friend, take it with you everywhere. Don't be mean to her mom.
I remember taking my I guess they remember when I first got into real estate, I tried to do an open house and tried to make it like more Halloween-like. And I had my kids dressing up in Halloween costumes and passing out stuff to the neighbor, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, ooh, what are they? And they still remember that to this day. Oh yeah. I remember
my kids, I used to call them my lucky charms. They went with me again. I separated when they were really young. So they did all the open houses with me. And my youngest daughter, Gracie, is the one that's always been, but she is the mini me, right? She's got all the energy. So she would run through the house and turn on all the lights, and we would time how long. My youngest daughter would just sit there and read. But either way, when they came with me, I got the most clients. I mean, quite literally asking them if they would allow them to work with me. I used to call them my little lucky charms. I mean, it's a nice little dynamic, you know. You can make it work. It's hard. I do, like Nathan said, when everybody has you feel like you're supporting everybody. That's kind of stressful, especially this past year when the real estate market wasn't so great. It does, you know, I feel like I got a lot of mouths to feed. But overall, I couldn't have a team and I know for a fact I could not do it without either one of my kids.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it without me either. Well, good. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
I think it's really fun. And then somebody on here was saying their son, who just said that their son was in class. Oh, Tammy.
Yeah, Tammy.
Other people on here. This would be fun. Oh, please ask, Namesh says, here we go. Please ask Kelly if she has shown her daughter the Michelle video from Napa. Is that the one of y'all in the bathtub?
Well, Namesh.
I thought was super cute.
Yes, she said
whenever it has the only.
Yeah. So she's seen that video, and Namesh is a special treat to you. I'm blooper.
You're what?
Putting a blooper tomorrow.
Oh.
What tomorrow?
Playing
for Namesh, I'm putting on a blooper of one
of
our
blooper video. Yeah, because he's talking about your crazy videos.
Well, I can't wait to see it. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
Michelle, but no, I'm joking. She'll be fine.
She's good with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies. This was fun. Ask your children, and if they want to be on it, let's schedule it because that would be really funny.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll certainly ask them. Yeah, for sure.
Let me know. Send me a text.
Hey, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us on. This has been fun. Yeah. And are you guys going to R4? Yeah, I know you're not, Kelly, right? Or you are?
You're not? Do you ever? Do you always? Do you never?
Oh, yeah, I go. I'm doing celebration this year instead.
See, I want to do celebration too. I don't know. I always, to be honest with you, the past 2 years, I said I wasn't going to R4 and I went both times. So I'm not 100% sure. I have not paid for it at this point.
No,
yeah, I haven't signed up yet either, but I'm going to go because I don't know if y'all heard the news and I'll tell y'all later, but
No, I haven't heard any news.
Well, I'm opening up my own REMAX.
Well, congratulations. I did not hear that. Well, how does the current place you work at feel about that?
Anyway, they already know about it. You know, they're fine with it. My other broker sold to a newer broker, not newer, but a different broker. He didn't really know me that well, so I don't think he's devastated or anything. So, anyway, so I'm planning to open up the beginning of December. Well, so that's why I went to that recruiting 101. So
congratulations, that's awesome.
Yep. So I wasn't going to go to R4, but then my daughter really wants to go. She doesn't want to go by herself, and she's like, "See, open up a new brokerage. You have to go now." And I'm like,
"See, that's right. Go." Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not, but I'll let y'all know. Probably, I'm sure. Like,
you're going to
always say no, then always go. And I do want to go to Celebration. I do think I'm going to go to Celebration.
I wanted to go to that too, but I just don't. I mean, it's just too much traveling this year, as per usual. Every year, I'm like, okay, what out of these 10 trips am I not going to go to?
Yeah, this past year I did R4 and I did Elite Retreat, and those were the only two. But I think I'll go to Celebration. I kind of missed it.
Okay.
Plus, it's in Nashville. How much fun is that?
Yeah, I know, but it's like right after. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Don't have much time to rest and recuperate for the next one. That's right. Anyway, thank you, ladies. I'm gonna go have dinner.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank y'all. I appreciate you. Talk to your kids and let me know.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.